Good evening, everyone. Welcome to our regular council meeting of Tuesday, December 16th. Start off with the Lord's Prayer. Anybody that wishes to join me can do so. Please remain seated. Thank you. Our Father, art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we trespass against. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen. Okay, Laurie, call to order, please.
Okay, mover.
Alan and Jennifer.
Moved by Councillor Wren, seconded by Councillor Gauthier-Keel, that the regular council meeting of December 16th, 2025 be called to order at 5:30 p.m.
All in favor? Carried. Roll call, Laurie, please.
Mayor Bennett,
Present?
Reeve Watt,
Present.
Councillor Gauthier-Keel,
Present.
Councillor Hewitt,
Present.
Councillor Hughley,
Present.
Councillor King,
Present.
Councillor Wren,
Present.
all members present.
Thank you. Confirmation of the agenda. Wendy and Brian.
Moved by Councillor Hewitt, seconded by Councillor Hughley, that the agenda of the regular council meeting of December 16th, 2025 be approved as presented.
All in favor? Carried. Any declaration of pecuniary interest? Seeing none. Minutes and notes. Our first motion for November the 18th minutes. Keith and Betty.
Moved by Reeve Watt, seconded by Councillor King, that the minutes of the regular council meeting held November 18th, 2025, the special council meeting held November 18th, 2025, and the special council meeting held December 2nd, 2025 be approved as presented.
All in favor? Carried. Motion to approve December 2nd council committee minutes. Is that not the same as the one above? No. Okay. Brian and Wendy?
Moved by Councillor Hughley, seconded by Councillor Hewitt, that the minutes of the council and committee meeting held December 2nd, 2025 be accepted by council, and that the resolutions from that committee become resolutions of council.
All in favor?
Carried.
So our next item on the agenda is our 5-year service employee service award to Laurie Dennis. It's been great to have you for 5 years, Laurie. I think you've done a fabulous job.
Thank you.
Thank you. Dean, you have anything to add?
No, it's been great. Laurie's been a great help and a good addition. So she's, working well. And so I really congratulate her on 5 years. It didn't seem that long, but I guess it is. It's funny how time does fly. But congratulations, Laurie.
Thank you.
Do you want to do a picture? Can we do a picture? Somebody have a camera? Okay. Oh yeah, we should do the front of the LB, right?
Yeah, otherwise you get Dean in the background.
Okay, thank you. Thanks, Laurie. Okay, move down to municipal reports, CAO report. Dean, anything to add?
No, the only one I would add is after speaking with staff and understanding that we are in a bit of a short turnaround between this meeting and the one in January the 6th, the thought process at this time would be to cancel the 6th meeting, go straight to the, I think it's the 20th, I believe it is the Tuesday, and just do a straight council meeting. There's probably not enough agenda items because of the holidays and everything going on that to do a January 6th. Something does come up, we would turn around and do it, but at this point we would advertise to say that it's been canceled and just starting on the 20th with the regular meetings scheduled.
Council have any issue with that? Do we need a motion for that, Dean, or?
No, it's fine. We'll advertise for it. That's okay.
Okay, thank you. Any questions for Dean? Alan?
I have one question. I think I probably already have the answer, but Dean, can you give us an update on the lights at Drive-In Road? They're all there, but seems to be no flame in them or something. I'm not sure.
No, unfortunately, I don't have any further. My plan was to call them this week, and I haven't been in the office, but I will tend to call them sometime early this week, or this week, I guess tomorrow or the next day, and I'll certainly get an answer. I agree with you. I went by them on Sunday, and they were still down and out. I mean, the last thing was that they were waiting for Hydro to hook them up, but I don't understand what the delay is. But so I will put fire under that for sure, and I'll let council know for sure whenever I find out.
Thank you.
Yeah, as Dean said, there is some type of hiccup with the connection, so. Soon. Treasurer's report. I know Annie's gonna present some information more on the budget shortly, but any questions there? Laurie? Oops, I can't open that. Seeing none? Oh, sorry, Brian?
On page 5, we still have other revenue, and it's over $500,000. Could we have something, I can understand, maybe under 50 being other revenue, but when you start getting to $552,000, it would be nice to have a little more of a breakdown on that.
Yes, it's the cost of doing business, and I did change the GL, so I'll make sure that it's in the next report. I have changed the name of it to the cost of doing business so that it's clear that's what's in there.
Okay, anything else for Annie? Seeing none?
Would that be in there as a reserve, Annie?
No, that's a straight revenue. Yeah.
Public Works? Kind of busier than normal, or not really, I guess, for December, but Mark?
Yeah, I think from historic years, probably the last few years, we are a little bit busier than what we have been. So not large amounts of snow, but just enough that the staff has to get out and tackle it. And with the freezing rain expected kind of tonight, tomorrow, the crew is heading out shortly to get some salt material down. So we're trying to keep ahead of it a little bit. But yeah, a few warm days before we're back into the deep freeze again.
Okay. Jennifer?
Dwight's fitting in well with us?
Yes, yeah, he hasn't been here very long, but he's on his, like I say, second tenure because he was here with us as a seasonal employee a few years ago. So, yeah, it brings lots of expertise with some higher water and sewer licensing and some experience he had. So, yeah, he's only been a week and a bit, but yeah, he's fitting in really well with the crew. Yeah.
Good. Okay, planner report. Laurie's. Any questions for Laurie? Okay, seeing none. Oh, I'm sorry, Alan.
Just the one question, I'm just wondering about the Greenwood subdivision. I thought that was pretty much done. Are we still waiting on something, or are they good to go, or? Traxton?
So with Traxton subdivision, there's still information with the LRO, which is Land Registry Ontario. So we've been noticing things have been taking a little bit longer at that end. Not as long as with the Kirkland one, for whatever other reasons, that one seemed to take a while. So we've done everything we can be doing, but there also seems to be now where we used to have local office and you had a continuity. We get different people around the province and they'll do one thing one way and then you do it the same way for the next one and then they want it done the opposite. So that seems to be, but it's very, very close. So yes, they'll certainly be ready for the new construction season if they're wanting to go ahead.
Is it something, though, we should push back on the province? Like, we've done everything that we can. The developer's done everything that they can. The province wants homes built, right? And here we are being held up. I know they're not going to do much construction at this time of year, but it might be an opportunity to push back on the province to speed things up.
Yeah, I can check with our solicitor if he feels that would be helpful or not, or if it's, again, a continuity question with, sometimes the agencies are, different for certain.
No, I get it, but over the last number of years, it's been the municipalities have had the finger pointed at them for slowing all of this development down, and now we've done everything that we can, and there's other factors now holding it up.
Okay, Laurie, if you could just stay for a minute. Anything else for Laurie on this, on her report? So Mayor's report, kind of was a bit busy in the last few weeks, but a couple items to bring up. We do have another meeting with the city tomorrow on recreation. I believe tomorrow will be spent more on the three facilities and the status of the three and what money is need to be spent. So we do have a report from our consultants that will be going through that tomorrow. So we'll be able to bring you up more to date on that, unless Brian or Jennifer, you have something else you want to bring up from that. Okay. The other mention, and I have on there, is planning meeting on the tower. I just want to bring council up to speed because there has been some reports on social media regarding the owners on Drive-In Road of the wedding venue, and we had some complaints through Laurie from the neighbors regarding the tower and how the tower came to be. So we had a meeting with Laurie and Dean and myself and the feds on the procedure that was done or lack of for when the tower went up. So we are looking into it from the complaint of the neighbor, and are not sure what stage we're at right now, but I think we'll have more information to present to council in January. But we have attempted to start to reopen how it was done and if it was in fact done properly. I don't know if you want to add a little bit more, Laurie?
No, I think at this time, there's still matters that are under review, so I think, yeah, we will provide council with an update once we have some clearer direction.
I just wanted to bring it to council's attention because I'm sure most of you have seen it or heard about it, and we are looking into it, so we're not standing still on it. Other than that, unless, maybe I'll comment one more time on the party, the LV party on Friday night with council and staff. Again, to Tara and Annie and Christopher that did a great job organizing it, and I thank them for that. It was a good time. And also to Nevada on last Thursday night, the volunteer Christmas party. It was good to see so many volunteers out, and I think they enjoyed themselves as well. So if there's nothing else, then we'll have a motion to file. Betty and Jennifer.
Moved by Councillor King, seconded by Councillor Gauthier-Keel, that the council received the following reports for mid-November 2025 to mid-December 2025 at the regular council meeting of December 16th, 2025. CAO's report, Treasurer's report, Public Works Manager's report, Planner CEMC's report, Mayor's report.
All in favor? Carried. Thank you. And then under business, we have 3 motions. Laurie, are you speaking to these? Yes, okay. So the first one is Splendor Forestry Road.
Okay, so this is the follow-up report with the recommended conditions for removal of the holding symbol that would be adopted by resolution of council prior to passing the zoning bylaw amendment. So we did review the conditions with the township solicitor. Subsequent to the report being updated, we did receive a comment back from the engineering consultant on the applicant's behalf. And so I had a further discussion with the township solicitor, and we did slightly modify 1 or 2 of the recommendations from what's in the report before council. So the resolution that will be before council, what it is that the modification relates to, we originally had that the all of the stormwater management works and grading would be completed prior to the holding symbol being lifted. And part of the issue with that is that the foundations really would need to be in for the final sign-off for that grading to occur. And so it became like the chicken and an egg thing with for the building permit issuance. So we have modified it slightly so that it will be in substantially the form as presented in the plans, and then they will provide an undertaking that they will provide a further concurrence once the foundations are in. And that would be coming from the professional engineer. So, and that related to the condition A, but then also the condition that is B, that is tied into the county, the clearance with the county of Renfrew, that similar adjustment to language. So the motion when it is read will be just, as I say, slightly different from what's in the report.
Okay, any questions? Mover and seconder, Alan and Wendy.
Moved by Councillor Wren, seconded by Councillor Hewitt, that the council establishes the conditions for removal of the holding symbol from the Rural Exception 95 Holding, RU-E95-H zone to be established by bylaw number 2025-12-041 for application of zoning bylaw amendment file number Z 2025-09 Splinter Forest Lee Road as follows. A, that the owner provide certification from a professional engineer that the works as set out in the approved stormwater management report and drawings, LGD and GN, prepared by JP2G Consultants, Inc., have been completed substantially in accordance with the approved plans, and the development complies with any applicable site alteration or drainage bylaw in place in the township at the time of application to lift the holding symbol. The owner will also provide a signed undertaking to provide a final clearance from a professional engineer once the building construction is complete. B, that the owner provide a clearance letter from the County of Renfrew confirming that the county is satisfied that the completion of works as required per the approved stormwater management report and drawings, LGD and GN, prepared by JP2G Consultants, Inc., will address the county's requirements, and that any required approvals related to the entrance on the county road have been met to the county's satisfaction. C, that written confirmation from a professional hydrogeologist, qualified professional, be provided that the recommendations as set out in the hydrological assessment and terrain analysis prepared by JP2G Consultants, Inc. have been implemented, and that the owner provide a signed undertaking which provides that tenants and future owners will be provided with a copy of the report and notices referenced in the report. The undertaking will also provide that the owner will require that all future owners of the property will be required to execute a similar like undertaking to be binding on successive owners. D, that the owner has applied for applications under the Ontario Building Code, which addresses all relevant recommendations in the hydrogeological assessment and terrain analysis prepared by JP2G Consultants, Inc. E, that satisfactory well tests are provided for 2 additional wells to be installed in addition to the existing test well, and certification by a licensed well driller / qualified professional is provided that the wells have been drilled in accordance with Ontario Regulation 903 as amended and in accordance with the recommendations of the hydrogeological assessment and terrain analysis. F, that the township's requirements related to servicing, stormwater management, grading, and drainage are met to the township's satisfaction. And G, that the owner provide a signed letter of acknowledgement that the owner does hereby acknowledge that the township does not guarantee the quality or quantity of the groundwater. If at some future date the quality or the quantity of the groundwater becomes deficient, the township bears no responsibility, financial or otherwise, to provide solutions to the deficiency, and such solutions are the sole responsibility of the owner.
Well done.
Thank you.
All in favor? Thank you. Okay, so our next one, Laurie, is for Radley Walters.
Yes, so, it's interesting how things go in themes where we haven't had a deeming bylaw for a number of years, and here within the same couple of months we have another deeming bylaw. A similar situation in that we have an application for a lot addition where there's 2 side-by-side lots that were basically being reshaped, that both were created by plan of subdivision. One has a house on it, the other is vacant. In order for the lots to be reshaped, we have to deem them not to have been lots in a plan of subdivision, so that once the lot addition can be made to stick and create. It does still continue that the subdivision agreement remains in place, so it doesn't affect that. It just allows for the the reshaping of these parcels. And the request was made again by the property owner, Mr. Radley Walters. And
Any questions of council? Sorry about that. Got a motion?
So basically, Laurie, you're merging the two lots together? What you're doing?
So they're actually reshaping. So because it was created in a plan of subdivision, we have to basically break that so that we can reshape them, because otherwise it's once a severance, always a severance. So they weren't exactly the same shape, so they're actually taking some from the vacant lot to add to the lot that has the house on it.
To make it square or rectangle or whatever?
Or just, I guess maybe how they've occupied it over time, because they have owned both lots. So
it's more or less a correction of something that was
just,
wrong.
how they preferred for it
Okay.
to
Thank
be.
you.
Anything else? Got a motion? Jennifer and Alan?
Moved by Councillor Gauthier-Keel, seconded by Councillor Wren, that the council approves the request to deem lots 14 and 15 on Plan 616, Pembroke, not to be lots in a plan of subdivision in order to facilitate County of Renfrew application for consent for a lot addition, file number B23/25, Radley Walters, and forwards bylaw 2025-12-043 as presented to the bylaw portion of the December 16th, 2025 regular council meeting for adoption.
All in favor? Carried. And Laurie, our last one, appoint LV Committee of Adjustment.
Yeah, it's just that once again, because it is all of council that sits as a committee of adjustment, it does require that it's an annual bylaw as opposed to for the term of council. So this would be to set in place for 2026. Again, I don't know that we will have a lot of applications just in terms of, again, with the changes with the Planning Act, but it will have the committee set in place.
Okay. Got a motion? Brian and Betty?
Moved by Councillor Hughley, seconded by Councillor King, that the council pass bylaw 2025-12-044 as presented to appoint all members of council of the Township of Laurentian Valley as members of the Township of Laurentian Valley Committee of Adjustment for 2026, and forward the bylaw to the bylaw portion of the December 16th, 2025 regular council meeting for passing.
All in favor? Carried. Thanks, Laurie. Next item up is holiday office hours. Oh, I'm sorry, budget. Saving that to the end.
All right, thank you. So after we've received the 2026 billing for the OPP, we put some information together so that we can go through some options and make a decision on how to finance the increase from last year. So I'll just go over some of the data from previous years and then some options for you, and then you can have a discussion over it. So just to recap the past years, in 2023, the annual cost, and this is the actual amount that we paid, was $1,350,000. It was an increase of about $25,000 from 2022. Then in 2024, it went up by $10,116. In 2025, and we'll look at more details for 2025 after, but the final amount was just under 1.4 million, which was about $30,000 more. And for 2026, the amount that we received for the bill is 1.5 million, which is an increase of 153,000 from last year. So just to explain a little bit what happened in 2025, I guess in the fall sometime there was a billing received for 1.6 million, which was an increase of 253,000 from the year before. And I guess the government decided to help decrease that cost And then revised invoice came that was 1.5 million, and then they applied a 10% discount to that, which brought it down to pretty much the same amount, very similar, about $30,000 more from the year before, but much lower. So then there was a decision from council during the discussion last year to put $100,000 into operating reserves to help offset, knowing that 2026 would be a larger amount. So I don't know if you all recall that discussion, but that's basically what it was. So on the 2026 billing, initially in the bill, it shows that technically the increase would have been 26%, $267,000. But because they put in a cap at 11%, the total is $1,544,796. So an increase of $153,088 from last year.
So maybe, I'll just stop you there for a minute, and when we did I got the email, I guess, a week ago Friday, and I did put a call in to our MPP, Billy Deno, on Tuesday, and he did return my call, and I just kind of downloaded on him saying that, this is ridiculous, 11%, and although he understands solely from being municipal council, he didn't really have an explanation. As he said, it could have been worse, that the Solicitor General did, saw it off at 11% and cap it. But I said, the future of this is, for this year and future years, we have no idea where we're going, and, nobody increases 11% other than what the OPP is. And he said, you're not the only call, and I'm going to talk to the Solicitor General, but it sounds like this is a final call and there won't be any changes. So although he understands our frustration, I did speak with the city, Pembroke Mayor today as well, and they're in the same boat as every municipality, that it needs to stop. I don't know how it's going to stop, but we can't continue to, plan or spend this kind of money. Keith.
So the increase before the cap was $267,552. Okay, he capped at 11% this year. So next year, are we going to get the difference between the 153 and the 267?
I don't know. I do know that some of the municipalities, and I would imagine in this area and probably other areas at Roma, will be have asked for delegations with the Solicitor General. So maybe there'll be some more information or answers that come out, but nobody has that answer.
But it's kind of scary, I guess.
Absolutely.
Thinking, this year, look what it's doing to us, then next year again.
Yeah, I know. Brian and then Al.
So on our tax bill, can we break out the OPP costs then? So, because we have absolutely no control over this, and it's a major increase, and I know the city of Ottawa and others are breaking that out, and it's out of our control.
I don't know if it's too late for this year coming up for when we send our billings out in March.
I'm not sure. I'll have to see what the process is and it depends too how you want to show it. Is it because if they're showing on their bill, it's maybe because they're charging it a certain way, maybe it's split evenly or according to their assessment. So in our case, it depends on the decision that you take too for that, how you want.
It's not as easy as, say, the garbage or the curbside collection is $220 or $225, whatever it is. That's a lot easier to do now. If you can't break it down per household, maybe that amount of money would showing that it's could have been 26 or it is 11%. So the OPP at least the taxpayer sees that cost. So we'll leave it with Annie and her crew to see if what they can come up with, and we can discuss that in January, February before the tax bill actually goes out. Al?
It should be pretty simple because we already split out the county, right? So it'll be split out basically the same way that this is your municipal portion, this is your county portion, this is your OPP portion.
Mm-hmm.
So just so that we show it so that everybody knows, and I think as municipalities, we really need to put the blame where the blame is due, and that's the province of Ontario. They're the ones that have done this, and we're talking about what's it going to be in the future. Well, that's why if we look back at 25, when we got the hundred and some thousand dollars from the province, okay? Well, they just delayed it till this year. And now they capped it this year rather than giving us money. So they're delaying the rest of it till next year. It'll probably get capped again next year, and then we're gonna wind up paying the full amount the year after that. So that, what we're looking at up there is what we're is going to be our annual bill, plus inflation on those years on top of that. So we're probably looking at close to like a 35 to 40% increase in 3 years. And I think we really need to make sure that that blame gets put exactly where it belongs. Not on us, like Brian said, we have absolutely no control over this. And my personal belief is municipalities should be pushing back that OPP should be uploaded to the province. Should have never been a municipal responsibility. We have no say over anything that's going on there. We just pay the bill. That's all we do. So.
Okay. Okay, Annie?
Okay, so I got 4 options here to,
Sorry, one sec. Dean, sorry?
No, well, no, I was just gonna add to that. I mean, the thing what Andy was kind of suggesting, like what Councillor Hughley suggested with regards to the bill, the problem is we'd have to get a rate to generate an actual cost for each household. Like we'd have to have a tax rate, because when we do the others, it's all a flat rate. It's a little different, so we can't really do that on the bill. But I think the idea here is in our newsletter, which we always send with the bill, we can certainly flag it and make it a good point that, and we have done that in the past. We do, the pie chart always shows the OPP because it's a significant cost to us. So it'll continue to do that, but maybe we can do a little bit more to that effect to show that, the OPP cost is rising. We can certainly put a blurb in there for sure.
Thanks. Okay, Annie?
okay, so just different options to look at on how to deal with this increase. So I put in one option where, because it's roughly 2% of the levy, so where you could kind of split it, you can add 1% to your levy, which we had at 699, so bring it to 7.99, and then take the balance, which would be about another percent from the reserve, where you put that $100,000 last year. The second option would be to completely add it on to your taxes. So you're adding a little over 2%, so it'd be up about 9% increase on the levy. Option 3, you could take everything from reserves and cover the whole difference. Or option 4 is take that 100,000, exactly the 100,000 that was put in there in 2025 for that reason, and then the balance from the levy, which would be just under 1% at around 0.7% increase. Yeah.
So it probably makes the most sense to take the 100,000 out of reserves because we put it there earmarked for that. So that probably makes the most sense. The only problem with that is that we need to come up with that money again next year. Okay, so as soon as you pull it out of reserves, now next year, we're gonna have to put that 100,000 as an increase. We have that as an increase before we even start the year. We already know that. Plus whatever our increase is going to be on the OPP again. So that's the dilemma we're at. I agree that we as a council made a decision to put that $100,000 to soften the blow this year, knowing full well that there was going to be a substantial increase, never dreaming it was going to be what it is today. My 2 cents. So.
Okay, for sure. Brian?
Is there any appetite for maybe dividing that 100,000 over the next 2 years, just so that we have something next year and not get hit really hard and cushion it a little bit? So 50 this year to soften the blow and save 50 for next year, because we know it's going to be up there. And
So you'd still be at over 8%, not quite 9%.
Not quite.
Mm-hmm.
Probably 8.5%. And I guess the other number you can throw in the equation is what we did speak of before was, right now in our 6.9, we're putting away 3% in between capital reinvestment and recreation. Do we back that up a percentage point? I guess the bottom line is, where does council want to end up? Do we want to end up at close to 9%? Do we want to take that first option or the last option of the 100, which will keep us just probably 7.5 to 7.75 kind of thing, and we're under the 8% mark, it's really, where do we want to be, and that's how we're going to move forward. Wendy?
I personally like the first option. I think we need to start increasing, I mean, I don't want to increase levy, but I think we need rather, I would like to see the 1% and 1%. That's me. The 1% levy and the 1% out of reserves.
Okay, just remember though that we did, for a reason, put 100 grand aside to get us ready for a position that we had hoped we would not be in, and we're in it now.
Option 1 and option 4 are almost the same thing. It's just that we've earmarked the 100
Yeah.
for a specific cause.
It lowers the blow by maybe 0.25% or whatever. Keith?
The only thing with that is that we'll have nothing left if we spend the 100,000 now. Where option 1, we're putting a little bit on the taxpayer, but it's got to be the way I see it. It's coming to that, as opposed to the 100,000 out of the reserve. It's a 7.7% levy, where the other way, 1% levy, it's bringing up to 7.99, just shy of 8%.
Either way, we're taking at least, the way we're talking, at least 73,000 out of reserves. So it's either 73 or 100 is where we're at right now. It's a difference
Yeah.
of 20. It's a difference of $27,000. And either way, we're going to be under 8%, but just under.
50/50.
Yeah. So if somebody wants to, the way the budget stands, sorry, Alan, go ahead.
No, you're right.
The way, okay, Lori explained this before the meeting. The way, if we don't have to make a motion if we keep the 2% as a levy, right?
Yeah, how it stood was where it was coming out of, all of it was coming out of reserves.
Okay. So any other motion, so if we want to make a motion, yeah, you have to turn that on, sorry.
Sorry, yeah. Is Danny finished?
So I'd make the motion that we use option number 4, would be my.
Okay. Seconder? Keith?
Sorry, number 4, okay. Okay, so I'll read the motion, and we have to have a 2/3 vote for it to pass the amendment, okay. All right, so moved by Councillor Rand, seconded by Reeve Watt, that the Council of the Township of Laurentian Valley amend the 2026 operating budget to include an additional 0.7% to the levy for a total levy of 7.69%, and use $100,000 from reserves to fund the 2026 increased policing costs, and that the appropriate amended schedule be attached to bylaw 2025-12-052 for approval.
Any further discussion? Dean, any comment?
No, I think I'm fine.
Okay. All in favor? Carried.
Thank you.
Yes.
Question to Annie. Could you, your slides were different than we received in our program. Could you forward the new one? Because it has a couple extra slides I'd like to have another look at, please.
Yeah, no problem. I just modified them today, so I'll send them to everyone.
Thank you.
Yeah, because it was showing 6, 7, and 8%, we're 6.9, so we're not.
And we'll upload to the agenda as well.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Thanks, Annie, for all your work. Move down to business, holiday office hours. Dean, I think you want to speak to that?
Yeah, just basically going over the actual office hour schedule for this coming holiday season. So just putting off that, the office will close on Christmas Eve at noon, be closed on Christmas Day and Boxing Day, which is December 25th, 26th. We'll reopen on the Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, and New Year's Eve being the Wednesday, close at noon again. And then New Year's Day being Thursday, January 1st, closed, all being statutory days. And then there's a request going forward to council to close on January 2nd, just to kind of give staff a break, to see if it will be a quiet day, I'm sure. People will be kind of still moving around and using it a bit of an extended weekend. Staff is willing to take a vacation day for that. It's not, we're not asking the township to pick up that day. So that's kind of the request we're making, if we can, if that is feasible with council. That's our schedule.
Jennifer?
I'm in support of this. I believe that we did this last year as well. They took that extra day, so.
Yeah.
Okay, Wendy?
I'd support that as well.
Okay. So, motion by Jennifer and Wendy.
Moved by Councillor Gauthier-Keel, seconded by Councillor Hewitt, that the council authorize the closure of the township office on Friday, January 2nd, 2026, and further that staff will use 1 day of vacation or time in lieu.
Any further discussion? Wendy?
I just wanted to clarify something. We're not leaving anybody out that maybe doesn't have any vacation days left and has no way of doing that?
Dean volunteered he give it 1 day of his to anybody that required.
Yeah, no problem. No, I heard from most of the staff members and all in favor, and if there was such situation, we would use a 26 holiday and take it away, but I don't think anybody's in that boat, so.
Okay.
Okay, all in favor? Carried. Okay, Laurie, bylaws.
We have one more there. We
No,
have a
I'll-
motion.
Sorry?
The motion for the provincial support.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Motion for provincial support of the Ontario Airport Capital Assistance Program.
So I can talk to that.
Yes.
So what this motion is the federal government have a program, it's called the Airport Capital Assistance Program. And with the federal government, you need to have scheduled service in order to be able to apply for that. And scheduled service with a certain amount of passenger load over about 18 months before you're even eligible for it. So AMCO, which is the Airport Managers Conference of Ontario, have been lobbying the provincial government to start a program for Ontario airports and have it not tied to scheduled service. I know we did support this motion probably 2 or 3 years ago when they first brought it out, but they're hot and heavy with the provincial government again, and they're asking all of us to re-support it again and forward it to the province. They feel that it's very close to being passed, and it'd be really good for airports like ours, where it's not tied to scheduled service, and you can get some capital assistance.
Okay, good. You want to make a motion?
Yes, I
Okay.
would.
Seconder? Keith?
Moved by Councillor Wren, seconded by Reeve Watt. Whereas small and regional airports in Ontario serve as critical infrastructure facilitating essential public services, including air ambulance operations, forest fighting, search and rescue, and law enforcement activities, while also driving local and regional economic development. And whereas many of these airports are ineligible for Federal Airports Capital Assistance Program, ACAP, due to eligibility constraints such as lacking year-round scheduled service, yet still require capital funding for safety-related infrastructure. And whereas the Airport Management Council of Ontario, AMCO, has identified a persistent funding gap from non-ACAP eligible community airports, estimating that approximately 85 such airports need $5.5 million annually to address critical airside infrastructure needs. And whereas provinces including British Columbia, Alberta, and Saskatchewan have successfully managed permanent provincial capital assistance programs, offering clear models for cost-sharing frameworks, eligible project criteria, and annual funding envelopes. And whereas AMCO's proposed Ontario Airport Capital Assistance Program, OACAP, envisions an annual operational budget of $8.5 to $10 million with a 75% provincial, 25% owner cost share, a $2 million per applicant cap, and bonuses for key community benefiting projects. And whereas the 2025 Ontario budget has already acknowledged airports as cross-country infrastructure and signaled intent to include them in upcoming capital investments. And whereas the Township of Laurentian Valley and the County of Renfrew benefit directly from airport-enabled services, and ensuring its continued operation is in the public interest of residents' safety, economic resilience, and efficient connectivity. Now therefore be it resolved that the Corporation of the Township of Laurentian Valley formally urges the Government of Ontario to, 1, implement the Ontario Airport Capital Assistance Program, OACAP, managed by the Ministry of Transportation, 2, adopt the recommended cost-sharing structure, 75% provincial, 25% municipal or operator, and cap funds to $2 million per project per applicant. 3, expand eligibility to include public use registered aerodromes and certified airports not currently eligible for ACAP. 4, reinstate the Ontario Air Advisory Panel to advise on airport infrastructure and policy priorities. 5, designate community and regional airports as critical infrastructure under provincial policy. 6, investigate stable funding mechanisms such as dedicated stream from the aviation fuel tax to support OACAP sustainability. Be it further resolved that a copy of this resolution be forwarded to the Premier of Ontario, Minister of Transportation, local MPPs, County of Renfrew, and AMCO.
All in favor? Carried. Alan, he can bring a shorter motion next time.
I would have said as circulated.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, now we're going to move into bylaws, correct? And here you go again, Lori.
Okay, we need a mover and a seconder.
Yep, Keith and Jennifer.
Moved by Reeve Watt, seconded by Councillor Gauthier Keel, that the following bylaws be enacted, passed, and be read a first, second, and third time, and be numbered and signed by the mayor and the clerk, sealed with the seal of corporation, and be engrossed in the bylaw book this 16th day of December, 2025. Bylaw 2025-12-039, OZ 2025, OPA number 1, KEMAC. Bylaw 2025-12-040, zoning bylaw amendment Z 2025-07, KEMAC. Bylaw 2025-12-041, zoning bylaw amendment Z 2025-09, Splinter Forest Lee Road. Bylaw 2025-12-042, zoning bylaw amendment Z 2025-10, Turcotte Estate, B 1025. Bylaw 2025-12-043, deeming bylaw for lots 14 and 15, Plan 616, Pembroke, Radley Walters, B23/25. Bylaw 2025-12-044, to appoint Township of Laurentian Valley Committee of Adjustment for 2026. Bylaw 2025-12-045, to amend Consolidated Tariff of Fees Bylaw 2024-05-011 as amended by 2024-12-067. Bylaw 2025-12-046, temporary borrowing money for 2026. Bylaw 2025-12-047, remuneration for council for 2026. Bylaw 2025-12-048, remuneration for employees for 2026. Bylaw 2025-12-049, interim tax levies for 2026. Bylaw 2025-12-050, to set water rates for 2026. Bylaw 2025-12-051, 2026 wastewater sewer budget. Bylaw 2025-12-052, 2026 budget.
Any further discussion? All in favor? Carried. Well done, Lori.
Thank you.
Okay, council acknowledgements. I have a couple, and then maybe I'll pass it on to council, that I was called about 2 weeks ago, week and a half ago, I guess, from Staff Sergeant Inspector Stephen Newfield from the OPP, telling me that he's taken on a new position, and he wanted to thank Laurentian Valley and Council for all the work that we've done with the OPP. I did congratulate him on behalf of Council. We couldn't get him here, so I did congratulate him on the work that he did. I know that in my situation, anytime that I contacted him with an issue or a question, he was very quick to respond in a timely manner. He was very good for Laurentian Valley, I think, and I wish him congratulations on his new job. He also informed Dean and I shortly after that, I guess on December 3rd, that Staff Sergeant Sarah Dara, Dean, you know how to pronounce that?
It's Sarah Dara.
Dara?
Yeah.
Okay. Will be assuming the role of acting inspector and interim detachment commander for the Upper Ottawa Valley effective 2 days ago. Temporary acting assignment will be held until the position is formally advertised and open for competition. So I did send an email back to Sarah to welcome her to Laurentian Valley, and we'll get her out as soon as we can in the new year to meet council. So I just want to pass that on. The other comment that I have is the decision to shorten the veto period on the 2026 mayor's budget. I, Steve Bennett, Mayor of the Township of Laurentian Valley, hereby inform the clerk and council of the Township of Laurentian Valley that it is my intent to waive my veto power with respect to the amendment to the 2026 budget, and that I will endorse my decision by way of an executed mayoral decision effective today, December 16th, 2025. So that's all I have for today. And anybody else have anything for Keith?
Just one comment, it's a good one, and has to do with Public Works, and that a couple people have mentioned why would the snowplows out so early when they weren't out in other places close by. So congrats to our people for keeping the roads clean. Thank you.
Okay, note and file. Mover and seconder, Alan and Brian.
Moved by Councillor Wren, seconded by Councillor Hoogley, that any items not specifically addressed by motion of council in the regular meeting of December 16th, 2025 be noted and filed accordingly.
All in favor? Carried. Confirmatory bylaw?
Yep.
Keith and Wendy?
Moved by Reeve Watt, seconded by Councillor Hewitt, be it resolved that the Council of the Township of Laurentian Valley approves confirmatory bylaw 2025-12-053 as having been introduced, read a first, second, and third time, and the said bylaw be numbered and signed by the mayor and the clerk, sealed with the seal of the corporation, the 16th day of December, 2025.
All in favor? Carried. Adjournment. Jennifer and Betty.
Moved by Councillor Gauthier-Keel, seconded by Councillor King, that the regular council meeting of December 16th, 2025 be adjourned at 6:25 p.m.
All in favor? Carried. Just before we close off, we wish everybody Merry Christmas, safe, behave yourselves, and we'll see you in the new year.